A lot of you guys might be wondering what to do in these hard times. You know, who's sick? What can I touch? What can I not touch? What air can I breathe? What do I do with my BMW? And I'm here to help you guys survive. I'm full of so many helpful tricks, and I'm going to teach you how to survive the good old BMW drift build. Alright? Yeah, buddy. So grab yourselves a seltzer. Put your bottom on the couch and download PayPal credit. Let's go. Alright, cut that. You might be wondering why I chose the E46 wagon to build. First off, I picked it up for like $2,200 with a little over 200,000 miles, maybe 220,000. Came with a 5-speed manual, inline 6, the M52 B25. And I chose this because all the parts for this rare manual wagon, there's only so many sent to USA every year, are all compatible with all the other 3 Series parts. M3 parts don't fit non-M. But this was a good choice because of all the parts that just dropped recently. All the sweet bushings, all the sweet coilovers, angle kits, turbo kits, superchargers, all the information on YouTube now. I've been studying it forever. I love all those Russian crazy builds. You only get to see the build and the startup and you never see anything else again. I love all these guys like TJ and the Daily Driven Exotics and all that kind of stuff. And I'm kind of right in the middle of everything. I'm going to walk you through my full daily drift car build. And I chose the wagon. It's like 50-50 weight distribution supposedly. Like I told you, all the parts are compatible. It was super affordable to get into. And I'll get into what I'm going to do as far as the build specifically and why it's so smart and how I'm going to utilize my factory BMW engine and drivetrain and things like that, and how it's going to be cost effective, most horsepower, and it's going to be always in boost. I probably just gave something away, but I'm going to show you how I'm going to have a full angle kit set up with all the solid bushings and reinforced subframes and all that. And I'm going to have minimal camber. I have too much camber in the front right now. I'm stuck at this degree because of my Fortunato coilovers and my SLR angle kit. I'm stuck at -7 at this ride height, and I'm going to be showing you how I'm going to get it dailyable. I'm blowing front tires out pretty quick, so I'll get into everything soon. Alright, we're going to do the build breakdown right now. I wanted to go over the engine and how we're going to boost it first, because I know that's what most of the people want to hear. That's what most of you guys are interested in, and me too. So, with BMWs, some of the worst parts are the intake manifold, in my opinion. I hate the plastic intake manifold. I hate the plastic valve covers. I believe E46 and older have aluminum or metal valve covers, but E46 have so much freaking plastic. And before you boost it, in my opinion, you need to take care of all these issues. Plastic thermostat housing. There's the water pump has plastic impellers. Plastic oil filter housing. I had a plastic power steering reservoir before as well. Failed. Plastic intake manifold, like I said, all the vacuum lines and whatnot are underneath the intake manifold. It sucks to work on, in my opinion. I don't like it. It's not that durable for racing. And also the plastic coolant reservoir, expansion tank, excuse me. That fails often as well. Our factory radiators have plastic sides. No good. Also, you want your fans working properly. Right now my fans are just turning right on. I don't know what's going on. So I'm really stoked I have upgrades for that too. This whole engine bay is going to be a whole different story. This is probably how most of yours look as well. First thing you got to do is headers. if you have one of these builds. I already have that. But most people are going to go for a turbo in one of these cars. The CX Racing kit used to be super affordable, the Universal. eBay kits were affordable, and you could piece them together. But you know, there's so many questions, and you don't know if it's going to last, and a lot of us want to daily the car, and it's harder to tune a turbo setup, and it's way harder to fit, and you're probably going to have to delete your air conditioning. No one wants to delete their air conditioning. Come on. It's so intrusive, you guys. The whole exhaust setup just gets squeezed in here. You delete your AC. It stinks. All that heat by your motor mount. I have badass motor mounts too. So what I'm doing about all that plastic stuff, that lame intake manifold, the lame valve cover, the lame turbo, dude, we're doing the Hyde Motorsports, Hyde Motorworks supercharger kit. This is what the supercharger sits on. Hyde Motorworks. It's the best kit I've ever seen made for a non-M BMW. It has all kinds of different BMW applications. A gigantic M122H supercharger from a GT500 Mustang is going to sit up on here. Super affordable. I picked that up for like 400 bucks. Dude, Hyde answers your calls and your emails. It's insane, the one-on-one contact he has. That guy is amazing. Like, I owe him, oh my god, I can't wait to put this kit on and do a legit review. This whole intake manifold is gone thanks to Hyde. This will just be a supercharger over here in line with your pulleys. And this is all the new intake parts. All aluminum. All of it. Look at the quality. Insane. Insane. So, Hyde Motorworks, this kit can supposedly produce like 400 to 500 horsepower. And you're always in boost with a supercharger. You're always in boost. It's in line with your pulleys. I can't wait. He sent me all this hardware and all these gaskets as well. These are all pulleys in here. Just Dorman pulleys. He sends the best, most universal parts. You can always replace them. He thought it all out. You gotta hit him up. It's such an affordable kit. That's insane. That's the supercharger and the intake manifold solution. You're gonna make more power than a turbo, I bet. And always making the power, not waiting for it to spool up. Not trying to pick a turbo size. Anyway. If you have an E46, this is an M56 valve cover from the Sulev version, the ultra low emission E46. And it has a built-in evap system or whatever that is. I forget. But I'm going to do a catch can instead, and I'm probably going to remove that. I bet it'll work better. So there you go. I don't have a plastic valve cover anymore. Collect one of those. Super rare. And then we got aluminum thermostat housing. And get a Mishimoto thermostat, because it'll open 10 degrees earlier. Aluminum oil filter housing with 2 ports, so I can run some oil lines to it, because I have an upgraded oil cooler from Mishimoto as well. I have the, what's the company called? I got it from Bimmer World, but I have the racing aluminum water pump. I'll put the link. I'll put all the link to all this stuff. So aluminum water pump. The impellers are aluminum, and it's a high flow. Way better. I have TRE Performance injectors. I forget what CC. 60-pound EV1 injectors. Simmons. And then I have a TRE 340 fuel pump. It's probably similar to some Walbro. So that's the fueling. So any M54 B30 comes with a forged crank and forged rods. So all you have to do is change the pistons and the ARP head studs. Well, actually be race wear head studs and a Cometic MLS multi-layer steel head gasket as well, if you want to be legit like me. You're going to have forged rods and forged crank if you have an M54 B30, which came in the 330s and the 530s, okay? Therefore, you need forged pistons, in my opinion, with the, I don't know what they call it. It's not a dome, it's the opposite of a dome. What would they call it? Concave turbo piston. I got these from E46. They're made in Russia, and these look killer. They were only like 500 bucks. They're amazing, something like that. Who cares? Forged pistons. I'm gonna be fully forged with the supercharger. Woo, let's go. I'm gonna change my main bearings out too. I mean, and my rod bearings too, probably, just to be sure. Might even get ARP hardware for my rods now that I think about it. Fuck, I shouldn't have done this. Now I'm gonna spend more. Alright, showed you that. These are the race wear head studs. ARP doesn't make them for our engines, so I think you gotta go race wear. Oh, Seems Legit Garage has some too. I think they're modified ARPs. So, there you have that. Here are my drive shaft modifications. This is an aluminum Guibo with polyurethane inserts. Badass. Make sure you get the right one. All the different engine variations have different Guibos. This is my drive shaft, like tunnel bearing or whatever it's called. It's made by Part Shop Max. They make amazing parts. Oh my gosh. Anything you can get your hands on Part Shop Max, it's gonna be legit. Oh, sorry. And it has a universal FAG bearing. My customer had this one and he had a bad problem with his drivetrain bouncing back and forth. And so he blew out the FAG bearing. It's only like 10 bucks to change it. So killer. Versus like 100 something or whatever for BMW. We'll get into this. I have my dual rear caliper brackets. These ones are from Poland. I took the risk. They're like stacked metal. Someone knows what kind of bonding that is? Tell us. But I'm gonna run some welds along all that because it kind of freaks me out. That is so I can have 2 calipers per brake rotor in the rear for drifting. So you can rip your e-brake, which is now a hydraulic e-brake, rip that, break your tires loose and start your drift or whatever you're doing. So I'm doing all that, running stainless lines. Got the e-brake and the lines from Part Shop Max. Should be legit. Two parts I can remember that I have. We'll have different episodes. I have a diffs online differential. It's a limited slip because right now I have a welded diff and it works amazing. But when I'm parking and stuff and when there's a bunch of cops around, I'm in my loud wide body car that's not quite finished, it's not painted yet. You know what's up. I go chirp, 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 chirp when I'm like turning into a spot and stuff. So that's why I need a limited slip because I'm turning 29 in September. You know, I deserve a finished car. I don't want to get pulled over as often. So limited slip from Diffs Online. And then to fix all this camber up front, I'm not even on the ground right now. Like we're still in the lift. To fix this -7 degrees of camber, come check out this wheel over here. We're stuck at -7 degrees because of the SLR angle kit and because I want that hot boy stance and that hot boy fitment. I don't rub at all. I'm not even on the ground right now. I'm still on the lift. So I'm lower than this. I'm stuck at -7. I hit up SRS Concept in Canada. And they made me custom camber plates that will give me awesome adjustment. So I won't be wearing through tires. We'll go show you the underside of the car soon. These are brand new tires. I only had like maybe, I don't know, 500 or 1,000 miles. on them, and they're cacked on the inner part. So custom camber plates, limited slip. One of my favorite parts, also from Canada. Holy crap, can't wait to use it. I actually have the ZHP edition transmission in my wagon. I have the 6-speed, the ZHP. This works on any E46 manual transmission. This is a Cooler Works solid shifter, and it's actually self-leveling. It goes self-centering, has this gnarly spring here, and so I'm really excited about it. Also has a reverse lockout. So if you let a chick drive your car, and she knows how to drive manual, she won't jam your stick into reverse when you don't want her to. So, you know, in BMWs it's over, top left. So, reverse lockout's key. I actually had my friend crash my B5 S4 Audi when we were trying to dip out of a party back in the day. Shout out Max Phillips out in Santa Monica. Smashed my B5 S4. We're like, dip, dip, dip. And he was driving my car because I wanted to sip that night. And he slammed it in reverse, went boom! We smashed someone's car. My insurance paid for it. It's all good. Funny story now. No one got hurt. Also got a Sparco racing seat. It's gonna be in a fixed position. I'm a little taller, and when I'm drifting on the track, you have to wear a helmet. And you also need seats with these little head bouncy things, whatever they're called. Forgive me. Got a fixed position Sparco, and that's gonna be sick because these are removable in this model. This is an Ergo something. I don't know, Sparco, Ergo. But those are removable, so that's sick if you're gonna be on the track and daily. Because you won't be daily driving with those right there. You won't be able to see your blind spots. So that'll be the seat. And I think that's it for mods, and we're gonna lift this thing in the air and show you what's going on underneath. There's a lot. Alright, I had to brag about my Snap-on FJ175. It's like their fanciest low pro all aluminum jack. I forget how many pounds it was. When I first bought it, I was all obsessed with it, bragging about it. But it goes super low and it goes pretty high, like higher than all the rest of the competition, and it's lightweight. It's pretty sick. Anyway, alright, I guess we'll start with the SLR angle kit. I chose that because it's pretty essential to drifting, and it's really freaking nice to daily drive on. It's hilarious to be on like a one-way street, and you can just turn your wheels, just make a fat U-turn like it's nothing. You're like, you'll pass a spot up when normally a normal car you couldn't make it. You'll just whip right in. And then when you're drifting, you're just like, you're infallible. Like, it's really hard to spin out. You have so much control. And every single bushing that was once like soft bushings or like straight rubber is now solid and like spherical joints, and they're fucking badass. And back here, it's Delrin bushings in the lollipops that are adjustable, so you can adjust all your angle of your control arm, all your Ackerman, all this good stuff. But what was hilarious was, I read online it would widen your car like 2.5 inches or something. It's on their website, don't quote me. And it really did. It was hilarious because I had these 18 by 9.5s on here. I think they're like an ET35 or something. And I have the clinched over fenders that are like plus 3 inches per side or something, 4.5. I don't know, I got the biggest ones. I got sliders and gliders, or gliders and sliders, I don't know. And once I put the angle kit on, it made them fit so flush. It was perfect, it was awesome. But that being said, if your wheels fit flush now, when you put an angle kit on, woo, you're gonna get wide, boy, let me tell you. So prepare for that. And on top of that, you also get a ton of natural camber because the arms are longer. It's kicking out the bottom of your wheel. So you're gonna get a lot of camber. I ride my car super low and stiff. I like it personally, it rides great. And I ride with quality suspension, so therefore it's valved correctly and dampened correctly, and it rides really well. If you try to do that on cheap suspension, it's soft and clappy, it's no good. Your girl's gonna hate it. So look at this tire. The outside tread's brand spanking new, right? Look at this, already showing cords. So that's why I had to get that SRS concept in Canada, that custom camber plate made, because I'm maxed out up top. So with those new camber plates, I'll get to kick it out. Maybe I'll rock like 4.5 or something, 2.5 when I'm dailying. I don't know, I can adjust it when I go drift, so that's what's sick. So, like I said, Got it. I have headers, but that'll be, those are gonna stay because I went supercharger. If you went turbo, you'd have to do a turbo manifold, you'd be all crowded in there, tons of crap going on, tons of tapping and long oil lines. It's no good, dude. Turbo's no good. And for drifting, and for 0 to 60 and all that good stuff, supercharger's better. This is a big supercharger. All those other supercharged kits are too small. They're like a little bigger than the size of my fist, and they don't make that much power. Not enough for all of us. You won't smoke anybody. So, gotta go with the big boy, Hyde Motorsport. Hyde Motorwork. Jesus, sorry Hyde. I showed you guys I have the upgraded Guibo coming. This is rubber. I have the upgraded drive shaft bearing. That's rubber. And so here's what I got going on. I have Part Shop Max aluminum bushings, all the differential bushings, all the rear subframe bushings. They're amazing. Rides like butter. Don't let anyone tell you that the aluminum bushings on a E46 is gonna ride rough. It's freaking amazing. Part Shop Max rear lower control arm. It's the best one out there. See how thick the gauge is. Has solid spherical ball joints on the inner sides. And then it has the like robot, like laser welded quality. They're insane. All right, so get Part Shop Max arms. Just spend a little bit extra. I think like 70 bucks more than the most common. ECS are good, but the bushing's rubber in the center. No good. This was the open diff. I used to do one tire fires when I tried to do donuts and try to stun out. That fucking sucked. That's why you see people crash in YouTube videos, because they have the wrong differential. So they crash into the pole right in the middle of the parking lot, and everything else is open because they expect the car to do something else. Weld your differential first. It'll slide around great, but it'll go chirp, chirp, chirp when you park. You'll see you get pulled over. I have the Macaw Motorsport E46 M3 rear diffuser. You can see I gotta make it wider and stuff. I just put it on makeshift. Got my own giant studs over here to mount it. And this is my own makeshift quad tip exhaust. Film all up in there. See all that? That's my own makeshift exhaust. Shorty race mufflers. And then I have some sort of silencer down there. Looks sick out the back. It's a wagon. I just chopped it up. Makeshift. I like it. It's pretty tight. Not tripping. Probably gonna crash it. Whatever. So I have 18 by 11s in the rear. I've put my 12s on here before. I have 12-inch wide CCWs. These are 285 35 18s with the clinched wide body on it, and then they custom made it so my rear doors are functional. They open and close and they're filled. Freaking sick. When it's painted, it's gonna look nuts. I'm gonna make my own side skirts any minute here. Yeah, that's good fitment. 18 by 9.5. 225 40 18. Here you guys go. And I got the Chase Bays power steering reservoir and stainless braided lines with the inline cooler, because when you drift and you do all that crazy steering back and forth, you can overheat your power steering. So I got that cooler just in case. So I like it. And yeah, I'm gonna upgrade some pulleys, change some pulleys with the Hyde Motor Work kit, and I just can't wait to install that supercharger. And I'm gonna have to pull the engine apart, drop the drivetrain, put a bigger clutch, do the main bearings, and probably do the rod bearings. I don't know, maybe I won't do those bearings. We'll see. We'll decide. Catch you in the next.